I made that little keychain in under 4 minutes, and you can do the same. No tech skills or some hidden laser knowledge needed. Just push a few buttons and you are done. Laser engraving or cutting like this used to be something only a few people could really get into. The gear was expensive, the maintenance was a hassle, and you needed a decent amount of time to learn the ropes before you could get any good results. So recently, there's been a major shift in the scene. Just like in countless other fields, smart devices have started showing up to make everything easier, and it didn't stop with laser engraving. So the star of the today's shows, the AlgoLaser Alpha MK2 with its 20 laser diode, isn't an exception here. The cool part, you don't even need a computer to get started with this machine. Just put it together and you're good to go. Thanks to its built-in operating system, AlgoOS, you supposedly don't need anything else. And if you want more control, just connect it to your phone via Wi-Fi using the app, and you can pretty much engrave, cut whatever you want right from your smartphone. But is it really that easy? And what about using it beyond just the app? Let's take a closer look. First things first, assembly. It's surprisingly simple. AlgoLaser includes all the tools you need, and basically you just screw together the 4 side parts and plug in a handful of cables. Each one has a unique connector, so it's pretty much impossible to mess up. To get the best experience, it's a good idea to make sure the firmware is up to date. Luckily, that's super easy too. Just use the touchscreen to navigate to the firmware section under the settings, and the device handles the rest. Oh, and don't be surprised if the touchscreen looks a bit different. In our video during our testing, a firmware update completely changed the look and feel of the entire interface. So yeah, don't worry about that. And yeah, let's get started. The only configuration that needs to be done on the device each time the material changes is focusing the laser. But that's super easy too, since a spacer is included in the package. You simply place it on your material, release the quick lever, lower the laser onto the spacer, and just like that, the laser is focused. Boom, it's that simple. Just for fun and to get started quickly, I picked one of the many sample designs from the catalog and engraved it onto the included wooden plate. And what can I say, less than 5 minutes after setup, I had my first small laser engraved keychain. Yeah. Of course, these sample designs, let's call them pre-installed, are super polished and come with suggested settings for different materials. But if you want to engrave your own designs, you should be ready to do a bit of experimenting. Every material behaves a little differently and takes some trial and error to get just right. Even the color of the material can affect your results, so paper is a great example. 2 sheets with the same weight and thickness might need totally different settings just because of the color. Darker shades usually need less power than lighter ones, and coated paper can sometimes behave more like plastic. You get the idea, I think. There's no way around doing a bit of testing, but the good news is AlgoLaser makes the trial and error process super smooth with their easy to use app. Just connect via Wi-Fi and in no time you can start engraving pretty much anything from your phone's photo gallery. And yeah, it's seriously that easy. For example, I've got this portrait of Steven here, and if I just wanted to do a quick test run without overthinking it, I could tap twice and boom, the engraving would already be in progress. But of course, you can also tweak the image beforehand and dial in the settings for the engraving process. That way, you can fine-tune things and gradually figure out what gives you the best results. In this case, I went ahead and inverted the original image just to see how it would come out. I'm not 100% happy with the result yet, but I think the concept is pretty clear. And honestly, the fact that you can just grab any photo and throw it onto almost any surface this quickly, that's just plain awesome. But if you want to whip up something quick like a door sign or a simple label, you can even type out text directly on the device using the touchscreen and start engraving right away. And yep, the same thing works just as easily through the app. But what honestly excites me the most, though, is that we're dealing with a machine that's super beginner friendly, but still doesn't hold you back when it comes to more professional use. A lot of entry-level devices tend to be limited on purpose, missing features, locked options, or ports that just aren't there. But not this one. The The Alpha MK2 Smart Engraver runs on the GRBL standard, which means it plays nicely with pretty much any laser engraving software out there. So if you ever want to level up your projects, but there's basically nothing stopping you. So let's make a full use of the 40x40 work area and cut out a more complex model. How about a dinosaur? I love dinosaurs. I set everything up in Laser GRBL, which is a free software anyone can download and use, and works flawlessly with the AlgoLaser. And thanks to the 20-watt laser, our cardboard model is done in close to no time. Please keep in mind it creates a lot of smoke, even with smaller projects. Good ventilation is super important, and please always use your breathing mask when you're in the same room and wear your included safety goggles. Personally, I think the 20 watt is perfect sweet spot when it comes to laser cutting. If you work mainly with paper, cardboard and a bit of craft wood, you rarely even need the 100% laser power anyway. Same thing here with our Dino. Cutting it out was actually the fastest part, and only used 80% I think, and it was done in no time. Putting it together and adding a bit of paint definitely took a lot more time than the cutting itself. Roar! And look at him, isn't it cool? I think it looks quite cool, and honestly I love creating stencil art, and with a laser the level of detail you can get is next level. I was honestly blown away by how quickly and cleanly it handled even the most intricate shapes. There's just no more precise way to cut paper than with a laser, so no more fiddling around with scalpels or craft knives. Once you've dialed in the right settings, everything just falls apart beautifully and you're left with a perfect stencil. I mean, look at this thin connection tab here. Insane. Impossible to do by hand or with a plotter. So, wow. All in all, I fell in love with the AlgoLaser Alpha MK2. It really surprised me in the best possible way. It's super easy to get started with, even if you never touched a laser engraver before. The setup is quick, the app intuitive, and those first results come faster than you would expect. Whether you're engraving a quick label, trying out your own photos, or experimenting with different materials, it just works. And it's actually fun. But what really makes it stand out, at least for me, is how it doesn't box you in. It's not just a toy or a beginner's gadget. It's a serious tool that leaves room to grow. The GRBL compatibility, full software support, and smart features make it a great option, not only for hobbyists, but also for anyone looking to do more advanced and or even professional projects. So if you're being curious about laser engraving but didn't know where to start, or if you just want a solid hassle-free machine to bring your ideas to life, the Alpha MK2 is definitely worth checking out. So yeah, what else to say? Maybe how future-proof that thing is, because there are a bunch of accessories available, so you can make this whole thing even bigger so that the area where you can operate gets even extended. You can get a lid, and of course you can change the modules. So that's one of the biggest parts in terms of future-proofness. Of course, it comes with a separate lens for the laser itself, for the diode, because this is the one part that gets wasted over time. But the whole module you can change and upgrade, and it's just this one lever, push away and unplug that cable and that hose, and in seconds you have detached one module and also in the same speed attached a new module, smaller or bigger. It doesn't matter. You just have to change afterwards in the software, in the AlgoOS or on the app, how powerful that laser is, so that every calculations done in the software will be right. So yeah, I already said I fell in love with that thing, but I say it again, I fell in love with that thing because it makes so many things so much easier for me, especially cutting paper. Because I love paper. And if you loved that video, or maybe just liked it, or you didn't like it, leave a comment below, maybe give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so we can see each other the next time. And so long, I wish you a beautiful day, and I say stay laser, people.